把你的心放开来，看一看你爱不爱，为何反复让我受伤害。
This is yet another typical story of someone being fleeced, and in this case, the protagonist is truly a big fool. A 58-year-old man, in an attempt to prove himself as a so-called successful person, tried to win the heart of a 38-year-old woman by showcasing his financial strength. As a result, he transferred 1 million yuan in 4 installments to demonstrate his charm. But the ending of this story is laughable. After breaking up, the man decided to sue the woman, demanding the money be returned, claiming that the money was an investment and that he had only entrusted her with it. However, the court's final judgment was surprising. The court ruled that this money was a gift from the man and did not need to be returned. Although there were WeChat chat records as evidence, the court believed that these records did not prove the money was given to her in a custodial manner, so it was judged to be a gift. After reading this news, I couldn't help but check out the comment section, and I found a large number of little fairies jumping out, saying, "I want a man like this. Give me 100,000 yuan, or even 10,000 yuan. I'd be happy." It was simply shocking. There are too many girls in society with completely distorted values, the so-called gold diggers. It's like throwing a brick into a dog kennel. Immediately, countless dogs start barking, right? This situation is even more exaggerated than a TV drama. Seeing this news, I couldn't help but think of an incident where a female judge was assaulted. Honestly, if I had to guess, the judge in this case was probably a woman. It's utterly absurd, absolutely ridiculous. This is 1 million yuan, not just 100 yuan, a small amount. You'd think a large gift like this should be for marriage purposes, right? How could it just be a gift? Any rational person would wonder. Who would give 1 million yuan as a gift to someone? Yet the court actually ruled it as a gift, completely ignoring the special nature of the situation. This is truly difficult to understand. That being said, we can't ignore the fact that this man was pretty foolish in this situation. A 58-year-old man, particularly from the generation born in the 1960s and 1970s, many of them tend to use money to attract women. In their minds, if a man has money, he can get any woman he wants, right? But the problem is, since he already spent 1 million yuan, why didn't he go for a younger woman? Maybe one who's 28 or even 18. Why choose a 38-year-old woman? Even if she's beautiful, she's been around a few times and might not just be secondhand goods. Doesn't this show how foolish he is? If he really wanted to find a young and pretty girl, he could have spent the money elsewhere, but he ended up choosing the wrong direction. In the end, many men don't understand. They think that as long as they have money, they can attract women. Little do they know, money only attracts gold diggers and players. I've always emphasized that the way a man attracts a woman determines what kind of woman she is. If you attract a woman through your personal charm, then she loves you for who you are. But if you attract her with money, then she's a gold digger or a player. This is a principle that many men just don't get. If you insist on using money to solve your relationship with women, why not just make it a transaction? How much per time? How much per month? Or how much per year? Clearly setting a price. Why waste money and still pretend it's love? Isn't that ridiculous? So after reading this news, I want to ask all the brothers out there, do you still believe that money will get you women? Do you still think that as long as you have money, you can attract women? If so, you're mistaken. Having money doesn't necessarily bring true love. It just makes you a big fool. So, a man's success isn't measured by how much money he has, but by his emotional intelligence, his ability to understand women's hearts, and his experience in relationships. If all you have is money and no emotional intelligence, you're still a big fool. This is the truth of reality, but some men will never understand.
高女对我能不能有真感情？
Can a gold digger really have genuine feelings for me? The reason a gold digger appears around you is often because she is attracted to the financial support you can provide. She caters to your emotional needs, but this is not out of true affection. The affection she gives is more of an illusion. Your emotional needs just happen to find a response in her, and you project your own emotional needs onto her, leading you to feel that she is responding in kind. Her love doesn't come from the heart. It is based on the exchange of money and benefits. You must understand that her core value is money first, benefits first, and her own feelings are the most important. A gold digger will act like she truly loves you in order to get your money. But is this love sincere? Actually, when you no longer have the money to meet her needs, this relationship will naturally fade away. You will find that when the money stops, the actress will instantly become someone else. The performance ends, and no matter how much you wish to continue the act, you must keep paying to do so. Once you no longer have the ability to continue paying, your relationship will come to a sudden end. If she finds another man who can provide more money, she might immediately switch her focus to that new customer, pouring more energy into him. So, do you think that because you've spent a lot of money on her, she will fall in love with you? Let me tell you, don't harbor such illusions. The so-called love she offers can only last as long as you continue to provide material support. Once this economic input is gone, she will say goodbye to you at the elevator.
我刚看到一个拜金捞女如何被一个男人整的视频。
I just watched a video that tells the story of a materialistic gold digger who was severely punished by a man. As a woman, I really felt relieved after watching it. It felt like this man really got some revenge. You can watch the video first.
对，我看你是不是穷鬼，我看你是不是屌丝。
穷鬼，我不是屌丝。
那你买呀，你不是屌丝就。
但是我问你点错了，为什么我要买单呢？
你自己买衣服你不买单，你搞笑吗？我就觉得你自己是不是土包子，没逛过这个 GUCCI 店，然后来买东西又给不起钱。你说你自己是不是土包子？你就承认你是土包子吧？你是不是农民？
我跟你讲，
你是不是屌丝？
我不是。
你是不是死穷鬼？
This woman had already cancelled plans several times and had even blocked the man before. Later, she took the initiative to contact him again, acting as if it was completely natural to ask him to go shopping with her. Guess what she wanted to buy? A luxury item worth over 50,000 yuan. But here comes the key point. This woman didn't even remember the man's name and instead called him fool, which sounded like an insult and showed clear contempt toward him. You'd say, this kind of woman is too arrogant, overly self-confident, and clearly not someone who was only indulged by one man. But what she didn't expect was that this time, she met a tough man. You've just met someone, and you dare to ask him to buy an item worth over 50,000 yuan for you. What do you think you're doing? Do you think all men will willingly spend money on you? Women these days are so greedy, their behavior is so ugly. She clearly deserves to be punished. She looks like a habitual offender, using the same method to scam men. Have you ever heard the saying, idle people fish, broken cars need spare tires? But this woman doesn't even count as a broken car. Such a woman will never have anyone who truly cares for her. Her behavior is clearly meant to scam a man out of money. The first time you meet, you want him to spend a huge sum of money on you. You're treating him like an idiot. Let me tell you, if you were worth it, that man wouldn't just spend 50,000 yuan, he would even spend 5 million for you. But now, you've met someone tough, haven't you? You don't care about spending the man's money, but you care when it's your own. How does it feel to be slapped in the face now? Does it hurt? However, I also want to say that although this man's actions are satisfying, his approach is a bit small-minded. While everyone feels relieved watching this, some of his words were inappropriate, especially when he mentioned farmers. He made some derogatory comments. We should never equate this woman with farmers, because she's clearly not worthy of the kind of quality and dignity that farmers possess. Farmers work hard their whole lives, using their hands to make a living, never deceiving anyone. They are down-to-earth and hardworking, and they should never be looked down upon. They represent diligence and integrity, and this materialistic woman doesn't deserve to be compared to farmers. Every grain of rice we eat is the result of the farmer's hard work, so we should never belittle them. Finally, I want to say to all the gold diggers, if you keep walking by the river, eventually, your shoes will get wet. You might feel proud for a while, but don't be too confident. Don't think you can easily scam men. Don't be shameless. Learn to have boundaries and don't think of yourself as superior.
所有的男人们，这个视频你一定要看，捞女避坑指南。
All men, you must watch this video. It is a guide to avoid the traps of gold-digging women. Please share this video with your brothers so that more of them can see it and be warned about these types of women. I genuinely hope that through this video, more of my brothers will be aware of the tricks used by these gold-digging women, and avoid having their hard-earned money taken away. Let's take a look at how these women lead you step by step into their traps and manipulate your mind, making it impossible for you to get out once you're caught. You might think that when a woman asks you to report where you've been every day, asks for good morning and good night texts, or even requests small gifts, it means she loves you, right? Actually, all of these actions are part of her strategy. Last night, a woman, a gold-digging lady,
shared her experience during a live stream, and after hearing it, I couldn't forget it for 3 days and nights. This woman once attended training sessions specifically designed to teach how to take advantage of men's money, how to create her love trap. She doesn't work at all, and besides the older man supporting her, she has her ex-boyfriend paying for her as well, and even 4 other men as backup, providing her with financial support in turn. From November until now, she has received multiple bank transfers and red envelopes. Her car was bought by a man, and the mortgage for her house, which costs over 200,000 yuan, was also paid by a man. She's also received luxury gifts, including perfume, bags, and more. Once she had lunch with a man and swindled him out of 40,000 yuan in just one meal. This man willingly spent money on her, but after the meal she blocked him. Even after breaking up with her ex-boyfriend, he still continues to provide her with financial support. The psychological control and PUA tactics are truly terrifying. So, how do these gold-digging women manipulate men and guide them into their traps? In the beginning, when you first meet, they are neither cold nor overly warm. On the surface they appear reserved, but in reality they are testing your attitude. They want to see if you're willing to spend money on her, whether you genuinely love her. She will ask you to report every day, telling her where you've been, even asking you to send videos. Psychologically, this is known as a compliance test. Many men, especially honest ones, think that she truly loves them and cares about the little things. But actually, this is her first step in testing your obedience. The next step is to make you feel that she is insecure and lacks a sense of security. She will say that she fears you might fall for someone else. She'll say, "A man's money goes where his heart is." And so you start transferring money to her. She will say she needs to do her hair, drink bubble tea, pay for rent, buy cosmetics, or get a new phone, things she could afford but doesn't want to pay for herself. She subtly hints that you should pay for these things, saying, "If you love me, you should do these things for me." This tactic gradually draws you into her trap, and you start spending money on her. Eventually she will demand a sense of ritual and belonging, asking you to express your commitment to her. She believes that only if you've spent enough money on her will she feel secure. If you don't spend money on her, she'll feel that you don't love her. But she never planned on marrying you. Her goal is to use your money and resources. In daily life, she will keep finding faults with you, belittling you, even degrading you, telling you that you're worthless, and that the only way you can prove you are a good man is by being good to her and spending money on her. She will ask you to buy her a car, a house, or even make large transfers to her, sometimes claiming that her family member is sick and needs a large amount of medical money. Let me tell you, these gold-digging women have no real feelings for you. Once your money is gone, so will her affection for you. Sometimes you might think that when she buys you a belt, a watch, or a razor, it's her way of showing love. Actually, those items might be heavily discounted and cost very little. She uses the same tricks on every man, like bulk buying products. Gold-digging women don't mind spending money, but they spend just enough to make you feel loved, giving you hope, and gradually luring you into her trap. She will make you doubt yourself and undermine your confidence. Brothers, stop being the honest ones. The relationship you cherish is actually just a way for her to bind you. You think she loves you, but her intentions are clear. She's after your money from the very start. I advise you all to be more cautious with your earnings. Your money is like a needle in a haystack, so hard to earn, but it disappears as easily as sand washed away by water. You usually don't spend on food or clothes, but in one go you end up being swindled out of tens of thousands of yuan by a gold-digging woman. Now that's truly laughable. A woman who truly loves you will not make you spend foolishly. She will even help you save money. Remember, those women who constantly talk about money in front of you are only after your wealth. They are gold diggers. Be smarter and more clear-headed. Treasure your life and stay away from women who only waste your money and time. Let's fight against gold-digging women, starting with ourselves. Stay away from these women, and your life will only get better.
如果我是一个捞女，想从你身上捞钱，
If I were a gold digger, I would never directly ask you for money from the start. Instead, I would carefully craft an image of someone who works hard, presents myself as independent and self-reliant, and even seems somewhat strong. This way, you wouldn't be on guard against me, but would think I am responsible and trustworthy. At the same time, I would raise my own status to make you feel that I am valuable, attracting your attention without revealing my true intentions all at once. This way, I can gradually make you lower your guard and become less suspicious of me. I would deliberately get close to you, pretending to be interested in you, offering small gestures of care, occasional thoughtfulness, or even a hint of dependence, creating the illusion that you are important to me. But I would never rush to establish a deeper relationship or give you any clear signal that there could be potential for us. I would intentionally maintain some distance, keeping you in a state of uncertainty, making you constantly wonder whether I like you or just see you as a friend. Then, when you can no longer help but express your feelings for me and confess, I would create a dramatic scene. It might involve crying or even a bit of sadness, and I would tell you that I've been hurt before, that I have many scars in my heart, and that I need more love and care to feel secure and to truly believe in your sincerity. When you see me in such a vulnerable state, filled with sympathy and pity, you may feel even more committed to loving me. At this point, you would be completely trapped in the web I've set up. Next, I would subtly hint that I am someone who values rituals, and I might even mention that other suitors have bought me gifts or done romantic things for me. This would likely trigger a competitive feeling in you, making you think that if you don't do better, I might ignore you. As a result, you would start putting in more effort, spending more money, trying to show your care and love for me, while I would keep subtly guiding you, encouraging you to spend more financially for me. However, as you sink deeper into the trap I've set, investing more and more, I would begin to grow distant. You might feel uneasy, even anxious, and attempt to gain my response and warmth through further investment. So, you would keep spending more, hoping to get more attention and affection from me. But once I fully understand your limits, knowing how much you are willing to give, I would start to distance myself from you, gradually reducing my responses, making you feel like you can no longer break the cold barrier I've set up. Eventually, when I feel that I've extracted enough from you, or your value has reached its peak, I would have no hesitation in kicking you out, completely cutting off contact, and moving on to the next target.
Dealing with gold diggers is actually not as complicated as it seems. The key lies in adjusting your mindset. There is only one thing you need to do: expand your social circle, especially by making more friends and increasing your chances of going to entertainment venues. You might wonder, why does this work? Actually, it's not hard to understand. Many times, a person becomes a simp not because they genuinely love that woman, but because they overly idealize her, thinking she's exceptionally beautiful, exceptionally gentle, and exceptionally understanding. They feel her existence is more noble and more worthy of pursuit than their own. You place yourself and her on completely unequal terms, seeing yourself as an insignificant little loser while she is a goddess from heaven. However, as you get older and meet more people from different social circles, you will gradually realize that the so-called goddess aura is mostly just a facade. Often, a woman's appearance might truly be attractive, but that doesn't mean she has anything particularly special. When we are young, we lack experience and are easily misled by external labels and appearances, thinking that if a woman is beautiful and speaks elegantly, we are easily lost in her looks and trapped in our own imaginations of her. To truly break through your limitations and get out of the myth surrounding women, you need to meet more women. When you go to entertainment venues with friends more often, you will suddenly realize that beautiful women are not that rare. You'll find that they not only have good looks, but are also interesting and very skilled at communicating with others. The shy and awkward version of yourself will suddenly become more confident, and you'll start to feel that you are no longer the weaker side. What used to be awkward conversations gradually turn into natural exchanges, and you might even start sharing some interesting anecdotes from society or lighthearted jokes. Over time, you will realize that the so-called goddess is actually just like everyone else. From that moment on, I want to congratulate you. Without even realizing it, your life perspective has elevated. You are no longer fooled by a woman's aura, and you are no longer easily manipulated by gold diggers. You have broken through your own limitations, no longer afraid of interacting with women. You will be able to navigate life freely, and no gold digger can easily control your mind anymore. Have you ever encountered a gold digger? Feel free to share your thoughts and experiences in the comment section, and let's discuss this issue together. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Your support is very important to us, and we will continue to provide better content for you. Thanks again for watching, and see you next time.